Welcome to the latest episode of Talking Season. I'm your host, Ryan McNeil. I'm joined by Florida Gators forward Colin Castleton. Colin, thank you for your time today.
Of course.
First question for you is, how and when did you fall in love with basketball?
Well, I first fell in love with basketball probably about, I would say, freshman year of high school, like fully fall in love with it and dedicate myself. So beginning of high school, definitely around the time I definitely started really loving the game and just dedicating like a lot of my life to it. And how I just played many different variety of sports as I was a kid. And then I grew taller like when I was beginning of high school, and I had a good skill set because when I was younger, when I played basketball, wasn't always like a big man. I was a guard and stuff because I wasn't as tall. And then I just fell in love with it really.
Besides basketball, what are some things that you're passionate about?
Like on my free time, I'm just really passionate on like spending time with my family, my close friends. That's like the biggest thing for me, just having a small circle and just dedicating that free time to, people that I'm close with the most, which is close friends and family. And yeah, that's really the biggest thing. I like golfing. That's a hobby though. Like going golfing with my roommate whenever we have off days. But those are the biggest thing. I used to be big into video games, but this past like 2 years since I've been at Florida, I haven't really played much video games. I haven't really turned the PS4 on as much. I didn't even buy the PS5 either. So those are probably the main things.
Back in December, you donated some toys and I think signed banners to Kids Hospital in Florida. Why is helping out the community important to you?
To be honest with you, it's just been something that my parents have always like instilled in me to make sure you give back no matter what you have going on in your life or things you may be going through. There's always somebody who's going through more and can have a helping hand and lean on. And I feel like the position I'm in and a lot of people that look up to me, I can give back. I'm just in a great position to help others out. So like the more I continue to work and get better with basketball, the more of a name I can create and just give back to other people, because that's just what I've always loved doing. Like if I see a homeless person, try to help out whenever I have the opportunity or if I have the cash on me. So it's just always been something that's instilled in me. And like I don't want to ever let that change. So
when is the time that you've dealt with adversity on or off the basketball court? And then how has it helped you grow as a young man? So it can help you grow as a player or just as a young man?
I try not to say transferring was too much of adversity because, I still ended up at a great school, University of Florida, so like that. But it was definitely a big transition, I would say, during COVID. So like the transferring part wasn't really as much of adversity as like the bigger picture. But during COVID and during that time, it was definitely some adversity because when I was going through the process, I wasn't able to visit schools. I wasn't able to like meet coaches, face to face and get the real recruiting process that I got in high school the first time. So I really had to just buckle down and just talk to my parents. It was really just my two parents, my mom and my stepdad, that helped me make the decision. It wasn't really a lot of other people. I had a couple coaches from high school that helped me out, but during that transfer process, it was definitely a big mental toll on me because I knew like it was going to be my last opportunity in college to prove to people, what I'm capable of and all the work I've, put in. And I'm just blessed to be in this position here at Florida, my second year, senior year. And things have worked out, the way I saw them. But it was definitely a weird time, change and stuff like that during COVID. So that'd probably be the biggest thing I've had to deal with because that's basketball related, but it's also off the court because I wasn't playing, I wasn't doing anything. But yeah. So
I kind of want to dig into that just quickly. So your first two college seasons were with Michigan.
Yeah.
Great program, really close to me here in Ontario. Now, with COVID and everything that happened, how great was to have the opportunity to come home and play for Florida? Because you were born and raised in Florida, weren't you? I don't know if the Gators were your team growing up. I don't know if Florida State was your team, but to come and play for what I think arguably the best college basketball program in Florida, the Gators, how great is that opportunity to come home and be closer to friends and family and all that, those important things?
Yeah, it was an amazing opportunity. At the time, I really wanted just to, get closer to the people that I've always been close to in my life and help me mentally. Went through a lot for a couple of years and was able to get out of that hole. and just, really it boiled down to just being able to just tighten my circle up a little bit more. Being at Michigan for 2 years away from home definitely helped me mature off the court as much as it did on the court. I got a lot better with school. I got a lot better on the court, obviously. Not a lot of it was able to show because just opportunity and things like that, but I was able to still grow. And being able to come home, it just helped me get a little bit more comfortable back into that setting of just comfort and being able to just focus on, the couple of things I really needed to just focus on without having to worry about a lot of other things. So it definitely helped me out a lot, being able to come back home, spend time with my family. Whenever I had an off day, they could come up here. I could drive back home. I live about 2 hours away. So it was best of both worlds with that decision. And, I'm happy with the decision I made. But my time in Michigan was great. It was well spent as well. Like, I learned so many things. And being away from home at a young age helped me learn, like, in the future with basketball, you don't get to pick where you want to go. So that helped me learn how to, like, navigate by myself on my own and not have to lean on people to help me with a lot of stuff.
On a lighter note, being from Ontario, I am thrilled next month to be going to Houston, meeting with a realtor, buying a place. No more cold winter.
Yeah.
For you, a Florida guy, when you had those 2 years in Michigan, the cold weather, how tough an adjustment was that?
I mean, I'm not gonna like lie or sugarcoat it. It was a lot because I lived in the South my whole life. I lived in Florida my whole life, besides 2 years that I lived in Georgia, which is basically the same weather. It gets a little bit colder there, but nothing like anywhere up north in the Midwest. But going to Michigan definitely was a wake-up call. I had to buy a lot of more hoodies, a lot more coats, more pants, things that you couldn't find. You can't find as easy as a taller guy, but I was able to figure out and navigate the best ways to get the right clothing. And they, with Jordan, they were Jordan sponsored as well, just like Florida is. They give you plenty of gear, and we get treated really well. So I was just grateful for that. And it was definitely eye-opening for sure, because I never was in a climate like that for more than probably a couple of days. And it was a lot, but I was able to transition. The first year was definitely way much harder than the second year. But my sophomore year, I was able to adjust to it, kind of got used to it. It was actually it was weird because when I transferred back home, after the first couple months I was back home, like, I was not used to how hot it is, because I was up there for 2 years and I only came home for a short periods of time. So I'd come home for like a week and then that would go right back into the cold. So like coming home for about a month or two, I was like, all right, when is it going to get cold again? It just never did. It just stays the same in Florida. So
Here's a tricky question, I think, because your Big Ten experience, for the most part, was watching from the bench. And now you're in the SEC, you're getting more on the court experience. But you do have experience in both leagues. What do you notice the biggest difference between Big Ten basketball and SEC basketball?
I would say Big Ten basketball, definitely real physical. Not saying the SEC isn't physical, but you got a lot more teams that play bigger, power forwards and centers that are most of the time above 6'8", 6'9". And, they bang down low. They throw in the post a lot more in the Big Ten. It's a lot more one-on-one with shooters just on the outside. I'd say the SEC is – this year there's a good amount of big men, but last year in the SEC was way more guard-oriented, and that's how it's been over the years, just up and down, fast pace. Everybody grabs a rebound, you can push it. Multiple positions. Usually, like, most power forwards in the SEC aren't 7-footers or big guys like it was in the Big Ten. So my biggest thing that I tell people with, the differences in conferences when I played was just, I'd say, a little bit of the physicality, and then probably the style of play with how fast you get up and down. Big Ten's a little bit more slower paced, I would say. Run a lot more sets, and the SEC is a lot more up and down, just fast paced. But it's still physical as well, obviously.
Who are some people that have helped you reach this point? Is it a coach? Is it your parent? Is it your stepdad? Is it a teammate? Who are some people that have helped you reach this point in your playing career?
I mean, if you look back on it, it's a lot of people. There's a lot of cumulative people that have helped me like get to this point. There's a lot of names I could name, but I would say, like, down to the core, the biggest people that have helped me get this far are obviously my parents. My mother, she's like my rock. She helped me with everything, whatever I've been going through. anything related to basketball, anything related to life, anything. I always call her. We talk every single day. And she's definitely helped me the most. She instills all the right things in me, and just has taught me so many things from a maturity standpoint. So obviously my mother, and my stepdad, he's helped me a lot as well, raising me, taking care of me and my brothers and stuff like that. And then I would say like my high school coach, they've helped my two high school coaches, it's Eddie Miller and Gordon White. They helped me out a lot in high school, as well as my athletic director in high school, Scott Drapsick. Because a lot of people don't know this, my freshman year of high school, I was ineligible. So I was playing junior varsity, and I was like a 6'5", just like skinny kid, didn't really have much feel for the game, but I was tall, and they just saw like, a skill set in me, and they're like, look, like you're going to be really good one day. You just have to believe in yourself. And like, that was my first year playing real basketball, but I got ineligible, so that set me back. And they told me, they're like, we want to keep you here at the high school I went to, which was Father Lopez, private high school. Most people get really good grades, and I wasn't doing really well in school. So they're like, look, you're going to stay for summer classes, get your grades back on track, and then you're going to make a big jump going to sophomore year. And that's when it started taking off. So those people probably helped me out the most through that time, which is probably one of the roughest times I had with basketball. It's like life related. I was 14, so I was super young, but still like that was the biggest learning moment I've had probably in my life, like realizing, like a lot of stuff can just get taken quickly, and just being able to like, persevere and having the closest people with you that always have your back no matter what. So.
This is your fourth year of college basketball. So the end of your college career is either this year. I'm not sure what the COVID thing, if you're going to do another year, I'm not sure what your plans are, but college is coming to a close pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
If you start thinking about what you want to do when you graduate or when you leave Florida, what are some of the goals and ambitions that you have once you leave Florida?
Yeah. It's definitely my last year, senior year. Trying to play as well as possible, finish the school year out and graduate, either this semester or next semester. But definitely graduate. That's number one on my list. That's gonna be like a crazy accomplishment, being able to make it this far and graduate at such a prestigious university. Just grateful for the opportunity. And basketball wise, I want to play professional. I have a lot of goals with that, being able to just play at the next level and just continue to get better. Even though I'm already a senior, but being able to graduate and then play at the next level are my two biggest goals right now. And then everything else is just going to take care of itself if I just continue to keep doing what I'm doing, keep working hard, and then having a good rest of the year.
There was an SEC championship last season, correct?
No, there wasn't. No, there was, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
The year before there wasn't because of COVID. That was when I was at Michigan, transferred home.
And that,
but last year we had an SEC championship. We had a SEC tournament, and then we had an NCAA tournament.
How crazy is that tournament, the SEC championship experience? Like the fans, the Kentucky fans, all the fans.
Oh, it's crazy. It's awesome because you get to see all the fan bases come in one arena, and all the different teams play. And, they get like the jumbo packages with the tickets. So you have all the fans watching all the games, and they all come out and support. So it's really cool because, in the SEC, there's a lot of huge fan bases, like you said, Kentucky, us, like Tennessee. There's really big fan bases that love college basketball, and they'll come from all over the country to watch you play. So I'm excited for this year's too, because it's going to be really good. I believe the SEC has the best conference this year in basketball. So it's going to be a really tough stretch for sure for the rest of the conference play.
Final question for you. You've had Big Ten away games. You've had SEC away games. What has been the craziest fans that you played a game in front of?
Ooh, that's tough. A lot of people ask me that for sure. That's a tough one. I always
give me a couple, so you're not just picking one.
Yeah, maybe? I would say I'll split it up. I would say the craziest fans, I would have to go this year. We played at Auburn. This was one of our game we just played. Yeah, we played at Auburn. Now they're number 4th in the country, top 5. Really good team, good coach. But we just played at Auburn on the road for our second SEC game. That place was rocking. It's a small little gym, but they pack it in there, and those students are wild. They say a lot of crazy stuff to you. But I would say those are probably the craziest fans that I've played at an arena. But I'd say the best environment overall would have to be Michigan State. on the road. When I was at Michigan, that Michigan State rival, I haven't seen any type of game in basketball since I've been in college like top that. And there's some really big rivalries, but my first 2 years, freshman year, we were really good. We played versus them my sophomore year. We were good as well, and they were good as well. So that was a crazy experience. And that place, they whited out for the Michigan State game, and they go crazy in there. So that place, it rocks for sure. But those two are probably the biggest that I've played in. I still have to play Kentucky this year. So we'll see how that goes. But I've heard some other things about other schools in our conference.
Colin, thank you for your time today. Good luck in the SEC tournament, and good
Thank
luck
you.
chasing your NBA dreams.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.